So today I'm interviewing Frank Engelman, who's been doing some very interesting exploration into a category of products we call senior tablets. Hi, Frank, how are you?
Hey, very good. Hi, Richard.
You look like you've been having some fun with these products.
Yeah, I'm deep into it.
Excellent.
Enjoying it.
So in the shot right now, there's you and me, and then there's a bunch of electronics. Can you just tell us what you got there? And then afterwards we'll play with them.
I've got a GrandPad tablet, a Claris Companion tablet, and a tablet with Oscar Senior for Families running on it.
And those are kind of the three main products in this category, is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. And before we start talking about the products, I think it would be useful to just paint a picture of who these are for.
Right. So who they're for is for people who have trouble with small icons on a tablet that they might be using now, like an iPad with a lot of icons on there, or they may get lost if they click down into some app, and then how do they get back to the home screen? So it's for ease of use. It also has some dedicated calling apps that you can control that only your contacts are able to call you or to message you. So this cuts down on spam and protects someone who might have a problem handling that. So therefore, those who need a little bit more extra help also, because some of them supply remote support or give you a way to provide your own remote support. So it's for that kind of category. It could also be for a person where you want to assist them a little bit remotely. You might want to know what if they're getting up on time and things like that. You can do some activity tracking.
Interesting. So would the right way to be thinking about this, would it be right to say that, if a person is very happy using their iPad and can do everything with the iPad, then they don't really need something like this. But if they're having difficulty with the iPad, or they've got some technical challenges, or they need help with tech support, or probably several other situations, that's when these come into play.
Absolutely, yes.
And a little plug here, in the notes below, you'll see a link to an article that Frank and I wrote, where we go into quite some detail about how to decide whether you need one of these or whether you need a more conventional product. So I think, if it's okay with you, we'll dive into the individual product demos. Does that sound good, Frank?
That's good.
So Frank, over to you. Why don't you show us what you've got here, and make sure you tell us which product you're looking at.
This is the GrandPad, and notice here you have these nice large icons. All the senior-friendly tablets have some large icons, and on this one, you choose to scroll through like this using these buttons. So let me go back to the start, and I'll show you what you got here. You've got a browser, but what's nice about this is you have some control over which sites that they can browse to. So not only can you put a list here, but once they go into these sites, they can't click on a link to get out and get into spam. So that's kind of nice. The next thing is call, and you can have your contacts here, and notice you can choose to do a video call or even a phone call. And these are protected. You can only do this with contacts, so you don't run into problems. Let me back up to the main screen again here. And we have protected email, photos, a camera, weather. This is kind of nice weather, where you can check yours or a contact's weather. That's pretty neat, friendly. You got music of their own genres here that you can look through. And what I think is the most important feature, they just added Zoom too. Even though you have calls, you know, protected calls, you could also do group calls with Zoom. Help is a really important feature here. What this does is you get a live video chat with a person. So if your mom, let's say, can't really call and use the phone and try to explain things, they can actually see your screen and actually control it and handle all the updates. So you don't get any pop-ups about updates.
That's cool.
Now, the other thing is this is like an iPad type case. And you can see it does the auto on off, so you don't have to fool with the power button. And the last big feature is dedicated wireless charging, which I think is pretty handy.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So you're telling me I don't have to plug it into something?
Well, yeah. Of course, there's a brick.
You plug in the stand, but you don't have to plug in the tablet, right?
Right, but you don't plug this in. Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. Can I just add a thought?
Yes.
So for those of you who are watching this, the idea is that Frank's giving you a bit of an overview of the products here. In the detailed reviews that he wrote, which you can link to from below this video, he goes into a lot of detail about all these features and exactly what they can and can't do, and including pointing out a few things that he wishes were there but aren't. And then in the accompanying article, we compare in detail the features between these three different products. So we're not going to try and do the comparison on this video. You have to read the articles for that. The idea is just to show you some nice images so you get a bit of a feel of what these products can do. Is there anything else about the GrandPad, Frank, or do you want to move to the next one?
Next one.
Okay, let's do it. So Frank, what have we got here?
This is the Claris Companion, and it chooses to put the icons all on one screen, the large icons here, instead of scrolling through them. So let me show you one of them. See right here, video call. I click that. What it pulls up is all the contacts that I have. And if I tapped on one of these, it would start a video call. So these are the ones that you can enter for them remotely. So you have that capability. You see the close button here? That's going to take me back to the main screen. Another thing I'd like to show you is Claris is big on tracking. So if you have a problem where you want to know if your mom's getting up on time, there's a little check-in that you can get here. If you look in a detailed review, you'll see how this works. But I just wanted you to see that. And the other thing, Claris is really expandable. You can even get it as an app and put it on an Android tablet yourself. The beauty is that you can add all these apps in there. If you think that your mom would like music, say Spotify music or Amazon music or Prime videos, books, all those are possible to add in. There's details in the review. So let me just close that out. That's a good overview of it, I think, Richard.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You want to move to the third one?
Yes. Just close this one up. And the last one here. This you might recognize is an iPad.
My favorite.
So let me position it right here. I think we got that pretty well.
Can I ask you a question before you go into this one?
Sure.
So I'm pricking up my ears here because I'm an Apple fan person. So those previous two work in the Android system, I think, and this one works in either Android or iPad. Is that true?
That's true. Yes.
And you're demoing the iPad version right now of whatever this is you're about to show us.
Yes, because I wanted to show it's possible to do this. If your mom has an iPad and is sort of given up on it, you can install this Oscar Senior Family app. And this is what it looks like. And they chose to do the scroll across here to look through the options. Yep. It's got calling, it's got messaging. They chose to put the contacts on the side here. Mm-hmm. So you can see we can do a video call or we could send a message. There's always a way to get back. And they've got some apps in here, photos and all that. Now, they offer certain apps. You have to get the apps from them. It's not like Claris, where you can add in anything that's in the Play Store that you think your mom can handle. But what I want to show you what's neat about this is watch when I push the home button. You see that? You can't get lost. I don't know if you can see the little message up here, but it says guided access. Oops. Come on, pop up there. I pushed too many times. Well, there's a little message. Anyway, you can't get out of this.
I think what you're showing me, is that I can't get back to the home screen unless I'm pretty cunning, right? Which is, I think, probably a good thing for an app like this.
Yes, there is a way that you could have her get back to it if you had to, which is that little thing you saw pop up there, the codes, you know.
Right. But can I just play back to you what I think you're telling me?
Yes.
I think what you're showing me here is the fact that you can essentially put a whole new kind of user interface on top of your existing iPad that is done in a way that so you don't accidentally go back to the 57 apps that are on my iPad, for example.
Yes.
And also it's got these big icons and things like that, a bit like the other ones.
Yes.
Cool.
So they're all pretty much the same. They just, you look at our comparison review that Richard and I wrote, you'll see we point out the features of each one, and you can make a choice and find the best fit for your loved one.
And when you say they're all pretty much the same, I sort of came away thinking that they're all pretty much the same in terms of having this nice, simple user interface and having a number of useful features that are good for kind of frail, what I think of as non-tech savvy type people. But there was distinct differences between them too, right? Which we don't need to talk about necessarily, but I came away thinking they weren't the same as each other. They had the same kind of underlying functionality, and where they really differed was in the extras.
Yes, I'd say the GrandPad is one where you can count on them, them supporting it for mom. You don't have to worry about it. This one here on the app you install on the tablet, on the iPad, there's only email support, which is really not going to work for mom. So you're going to have to support it. The Claris had a great advantage in that you can add a bunch of extra apps that are lacking on these if you want some entertainment or books, videos.
Cool. Was there anything else you think we should be drawing people's attention to right now, or do you think that's a good place to stop?
That's good. Check the website.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so all of this work was done, well, Frank did all the hard work, but I helped a bit. And it was done under the auspices of Tech Enhanced Life. And so this work is all published on techenhancedlife.com, and there'll be a link to that just below this video. Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you, Richard.
Talk to you soon.